believe some may still not be back. But anyway, for those who are interested, I have reorganized the obscenity detector. Okay, and this is how okay, so this is basically okay, so this is basically so-called the reorganized code. Okay. I think hopefully it's easier to read. So you guess it's easier to read, right? So Denise, is this better since I've reorganized it? I mean, as in one look at this, it's probably easier to read, right? Okay, this is the original one. Okay, this is his original one. And this is the one that I just created. Okay. I've tested all of them. Okay, only the second one is clean. The first, third, and fourth, they're all unclean. So it's actually working. If you put them into functions, it looks somewhat like this. Okay. So I don't think I will be going through all this anyway. Since it's just to show you that if you organize them into functions, is actually okay. You know, it's pretty good to understand rather than to put it this way, which is not reusable. Okay, but again, it really depends on, you know, if it's a exam situation, which one will you do, right? So if you are very fast in functions, then you'll still probably prefer this way rather than this way. Okay. Okay. Right. Do you need the code? If you need the code, I'll just flash to you. You can take pictures, and then you can key later. Okay. So I scroll up. Okay. I put in all the comments over there. This is the punctuations. This is to check for the number of arguments. Okay. This is to remove the punctuations from word. Okay. I did a bit of slightly differently from him. Okay, never mind. You take pictures first. I'll explain function by function, but not line by line. Okay, I'm just explaining what the rationale of the functions are supposed to be. Slightly different from him only. Okay, I'm making use most of whatever is from him. I'm just using a bit of slightly different from what he did and what he did. So you need to scroll down, Emil. I will just scroll down further. Is this okay? Okay, so I'm going to scroll down. Yeah, just now was here, so this one here. Yep, I think should be okay. Okay, the rest okay. I'm going to move down. Just now was here, so this one should be the last. Yep, I think that should be okay. All done? Okay, so I'll briefly explain. Okay, the first part is to check for arguments. So this part here, I didn't change. If it's not equivalent to the correct arguments, you will simply quit. Okay. If the number of arguments is correct, that means the first argument must be the file name. So you take the first argument and assign to file name, so that's easier to read. Okay. So you need to create a forbidden list. So normally I'll put this into a function called load forbidden words. Okay. Because let's say this is two of them, right? Let's say you have multiple words, all of them you load it from a file. So I'll put it into a function and load it from a file into a list. Okay, so that's what I'll do. But in this case, there's only two. You could have multiple forbidden words because there's so many forbidden words out there, right? And after you got the forbidden list, you try to load the words from the file name based on the first argument. And these words will be a list of words that are all lowercase, all converted to lowercase, number one. Secondly, words that are stripped of punctuations. So that means if I have things like FCK exclamation mark, you will strip the exclamation mark. If you have heart with comma, you will strip the comma, you will give you only the heart. Okay. So similarly for this sheets, SHT, I shouldn't say the word, right? Comma, it should be SHT only without the comma. Okay. So this particular part here is to strip all those commas, everything, and return you a clean looking word in lowercase, and then append the word to the list, and then return you a clean list of words. Okay? Return you a clean list of words. Okay, and this clean list of words plus the forbidden list. So you check every word whether it's inside the forbidden list, every word whether it's inside forbidden list. If it's inside the forbidden list, that means this is not a clean file. So you print this. If after running through all the words and it's not in the forbidden list, then it's a clean file. Okay. So this part here is pretty easy. For word in words, every word, check if it's inside. If it's inside, straight away return false, otherwise return true. Okay, yeah. So that's basically, I think, probably easier to read. Okay, if you're ready, let me know. Then we will start on the revision very quickly. Okay, are you ready? Yes. Any questions? Okay, no questions, huh? Okay, so let's go and finish this. And then we will talk about the assignments if you have questions. Okay, I mean, I'll answer any assignment questions. Any questions regarding the assignment? Okay, if I can. All right, so this is a typical sample exam paper. So you can see you have A, B, C, D, E, all the way until F, G, H. Okay, and then second part, you will ask you things like the syntax errors, runtime errors, logic errors. And the third question is to ask you for UML activity, automatic garbage collection, right? And the big O notation, right? And our paper is following almost exactly the same format, okay? Almost exactly the same format. So this is a good format to go for. Okay. Of course, the exam paper is 100 marks. So 25 marks for the first, 25 marks for the second. The UML diagram and this one should be third. Yeah, and then the 15 marks for the big O notation. So all in all, 50 marks. So four questions. Okay. So the last one is actually split into question number 4. Okay, so if we look at this, the first part you shouldn't lose marks. Okay, the first part usually students will score everything. The thing, of course, is that unfortunately, for you students, I have made all these code pictures, okay, just like what you see here. So you cannot copy and paste. This one can copy and paste. This one I think some of them you can't. For example, this one you can't. This one can't copy and paste, right? Or you can. Or this one you can because this one is a sample exam paper. In the actual exam paper, yeah, the thing here is that your thing here is that you need to type. You need to spend some time typing. Okay, you need to spend some time typing. Okay, so I'm going to run through this, and then without the interpreter, I'm going to you can check with the interpreter to see whether I'm right or wrong. Okay. Okay, let's try to run this and see what's the answer. For this, it will be, the answer is, gosh, so difficult to use. 3 equals to 6. Okay, so stock is 3. There will be spaces in between because of commas. 3 times 2 will give you 6. So 3 equals to 6 is correct. Thank you. Okay, what about the second one? Second one is stock equals to 6. Same. This is stock. This is a variable. This is a string. Can you see that? So the first part is really stock, like what Jackie says. And then you have the equal. And this thing here is a string 3 times 2, which is 3. No, it's stock because this is comma. This is yeah, this is double quotes. So it's 3 times 3. That gives you 3. Is that okay? Okay, so I'm going to continue.
Sorry, sir.
Yep.
Just now when I run it, it says 3 equals to 33, even though I put the
No, you didn't put the double quote in front.
Oh, okay, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah, you put double quote, then you will get stock. Okay, so what about C? Reserved equals to 2. You must learn to type fast because my exam is all pictures. Okay, so you have to type one. You cannot copy and paste one, I can tell you. Okay, you really need to type. If you type wrongly, you waste time. Okay. Okay, so what about this? Reserved equals to 2, total equals to 3. Reserved total. What's the answer? 3, 2. Correct, because this is position 0, goes over here. So this position goes here, and this reserved goes here. Nope, sorry. This reserve goes here. This goes here. Right? So this reserved is actually 2. This total is actually 3. So that's why you have 3, 2. Good. So you're ready for exam. Very good. Okay, so let's move down. What about this? What about this? It is true, right? Okay, it is true. So yeah, so it's true, yes. But the answer is T, the uppercase T, not lowercase t. Okay, uppercase T, not lowercase t. So technically speaking, I could minus marks or score the person 0. Okay, so please be careful. Okay, when would I score the person 0, or when would I minus marks off the person? Okay, if let's say all of you get HD, then I will do that. I will pick on the every little thing. Okay, let's move down. So what would the following Python code print? $130. Okay. First of all, it checks that if not metered installed, cannot metered installed means that you're checking for meter installed to be false. You're basically checking whether meter installed is false. Yes, because it's false, so you go inside here. Adults equals to 3, so it's not this, so it must be else. So else price equals to 130. So you go out, your yearly water bill is 130 euros. Okay, so this is correct. Okay, good. Okay, what about this? Okay, give me a moment. Okay, 3333. Okay, that's good. That is correct. Okay, so that is correct. So this is 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay, what about this? I think the rest, let me see how much we have. I don't think I will not do everything. Okay, leave some of the exercises for you. Okay, so what about this? I think this one can do. G. I think I'll skip some of it and jump to some of the important ones. It will print 20.0. 8 plus 9 plus 1 plus 2, that gives you 20. Yeah, because it's a float, it points you 20. If it's a float, it prints 20.0. Okay, that's good. Everyone got it right? Okay, so I'm going to move down. So some of them I'm going to skip. Like this one I'll skip. This one I'll skip. I think these are all pretty doable. Okay, maybe this. What will the following Python code print? Wrong type? Yes, it's an invalid literal for integer conversion. Okay, the wrong type will only happen if you put in a float. Yeah. Okay. So it is the value error. Okay, it's the value error. Okay, so let me see. All right. Okay, this one is interesting. Maybe we'll do this. Matrix. V for L in matrix for V in L if length is greater than, if length of L is greater than 1. A double for loop. Okay, so if you look at this part over here, for V in length, if length is greater than Okay, look at this one. This is equivalent to okay, let's say this is okay. Let's say if I rewrite this to a normal loop without this is called least comprehension, right? Let's say if I'm going to rewrite this, it should look somewhat like this. Okay, tot equals to this for v no, for L in matrix if L length of L is greater than 1, for V in L okay, so if you look at this, right, this part here is saying that only those lists, let's say for example 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 only 1 2 3 4 is one list, 5 6 7 is one list, 8 9 is one list. All of these lists are greater have more than one item, okay, more than one item, so the last one is excluded. So you will append one for each list, you will append the item. So yes, you're correct, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 9, hence this one will give you 9. But you understand how it's working, right? This is equivalent. Okay. What about Denise? Denise, you got the answer correct, but you understand what's working, right? How it's working. Yes or no? Yes, huh? What about the rest? Any questions? No? So I'm going to move on. Is it all right? Not for now. Okay, so let's move down. Okay, syntax errors, logic errors. I think syntax errors, this one should be quite okay. Okay, what's the problem with this code? there is no indication of what the contents count is. Well, okay, first of all, count is trying to count how many 100s there are. Right? So this is correct. So Denise is correct, okay? It should be total equal 100 contents colon. Right, so this is the missing one. Okay, so this is a missing one. Okay, so this is correct. This is correct code. This is actually correct code. Okay. Anything else? That's actually counting. So what about another error? Should be right, because okay, so this one is actually missing colon and this one is due to def is a keyword. Do you understand that? Okay. Right. So this is pretty okay. This is identify and suggest, right? So this one is 5 marks. Okay, but for the B is 10 marks. Okay, the B is 10 marks. Okay, so I will do, let's say, choose one. I don't think I'll do everything. These two are causing the runtime error. So how to do? What's the first runtime error? What's the second runtime error? Hello, hello. What happened? All brain fried. Okay. Unsupported operand. Yes, it's a type error. The thing here is that okay, so if you do this, okay, this is the first error, right? Okay. Question is, how do you do sum on strings? That's right. How do you do sum on strings? Okay, how do you do sum on strings? Okay, so either you convert these to numbers before you pass to average, right? So that's definitely all right. Or you convert the values inside the average, but again, I'll prefer you to convert this before passing to the average, because you're supposed to do one thing only. You understand what I'm trying to say? So instead of passing this, we should really pass 1, 2, 3 after the conversion. Do you understand? Convert first before passing. Okay. The second one that will cause you an error. So this one, no problem. This one shouldn't be any problem anymore. And this one will cause you a problem because you're dividing by 0. Okay, you're dividing by 0. So again, you want to maybe check whether the list is an empty one, okay, before you pass into the average. Is it okay? When you're supposed to identify, you need to pinpoint where it's wrong. Okay. It has two parts. Identify is to pinpoint where it's wrong. So just now I show you where it's wrong, right? This is wrong because these are all strings, not numbers. This is wrong because it's empty list. So these are the identification. The second part is suggesting corrections or alternatives. So that's why I ran through you that you should convert to numbers before you pass in. This one you should check whether it's empty list before you pass in. Okay with that? Check whether the list is empty before you can pass in. Yeah, either that or you can just return you can throw the you can throw errors here lah, but again I don't like to throw errors over here. You saw that he actually threw errors, right? erase the exception, all this, right? I'll prefer to do the checking before you pass it in. So in a case, you can actually do things like, okay, let's say if I really want to do this, okay, so in this case, I could return two values. Okay, so this part here will say that I could not divide. That's why it's false. And the result is still 0. This one, I could divide, I could find the average, right? So okay, so let's say, for example, you pass this in, you show you empty list. Oh gosh. Okay, if not empty. So if is if it's empty. Okay, my naming, wait. If it's not empty, okay, if it's empty, it means this one I assigned the wrong thing already. Right. So if it's if this is an empty list, I return true. That means it's an empty list. Otherwise, I return false. So it's not empty list. Okay. Okay, maybe, but then false and values go together. Sounds very weird, right? Okay, but you understand what I'm trying to do? If this is empty, I will say that this is empty, therefore the answer is not relevant. If it's not empty, then I'll print the answer. So this is a possible correction. Okay, but I don't really like to do this type of things in functions because you are trying to do too many things at one time. Normally, I will just check the list outside before I pass in. Okay, anyone else? Is this okay? Or what? No. Okay, maybe if this you're not too happy with this, then we can put this as has values. Then this one will be false. Okay, we just need to name the the thing correctly, okay, has values, and if not has values, it means it is an empty list, right? So if has values equals to true, then you print the average, okay? So has values equals to true here. That's why you print average. So has values equals to false here. That's why you print empty list. Okay, is this name, this swapping is better, right? True goes with something, false goes with nothing, right? So Jeffrey, what is the no for? Hello. Anybody? What's the no for? It's like the, ever watch the old Constantine show by Keanu Reeves? Anyone watch? Never. Yes. When Keanu Reeves was, finally going to leave for heaven, the devil said no, and then he brought him back to life. It sounds like you sound like him. Right? Sound like him. Yeah, it's a good show, I think. Okay. Let's move back to the paper. Is it all right? Okay, let's move back. I think okay, quite a bit. So this part here, I give you this part. Oh, of course. You're supposed to write codes. Yes, of course. But the first part, no need what. The first part is all print out. What's the printout? What's the printout? So you just need to type out and then get the output and just do here. So for the first 25%, it's all getting output. For second part is identify, then write alternative code. Definitely need to write codes. So that answers your question, right? Okay, so there are two logic errors here. Okay, I think we will just do one. No time already. Okay, what is a logic error? A logic error means that, okay, if you run this code, definitely no problem, it's working fine, everything's working fine. Logic error means you're doing something wrong. Let's say, for example, if I want to find the BMI, and the BMI is actually the weight divided by height. So weight over height square, right? But the weight should be in kilograms, the height should be in meters. So if a person is 55 kilograms and the height is 1.7, so it's 55 divided by 1.7 divided by 1.7. Okay, so we talk about logic errors. Let's say you take in the wrong input, and then you take in as instead of taking in the weight as kilogram, the person go and key in 150, but 150 is pounds. 150 is pounds. Okay, in kilograms terms, 150 is about 73, 74 kilograms. Okay, 70 something kilograms. It is on the low 70s. And let's say the person go and key in, instead of meters, they're going to key in centimeters. Right? Obviously, the result of the BMI will be wrong because the person keys in 150 pounds instead of kilograms. And then let's say he keys in 175 centimeters, which is supposed to be 1.75. So that gives you the wrong thing. So logic error is something like that. So you look at this code here, unsold equals to 34, 12, 6, 12, 0. So it is the number of stocks, okay, per month that's left unsold. So if we take a look at the 5th month, everything's sold out. So there's 0 stock left. Okay, so the last 2 months is November and December, 1 and 2 stock left. Okay, so you go and calculate the total amount of unsold, right? And then he wants to transform the values into percentages. Okay, he wants to transform the values into percentages. So he put V equals to V divided by total. Okay, V equals to V divided by total. And that is not correct because it will not give you the percentages. It gives you the decimal points, right? It gives you the ratio, right? Okay. So in this case, let me try to find where I can type. Gosh, where is it? So for V in unsold, it should be V equals to V divided by total multiplied by 100. So this one will be in percentages. Okay, so this is one logic error. Okay, so the next one you're going to figure out yourself. Do you understand that? Okay, so how will I answer this question? How will I answer this question? So I will say that for V, gosh, wait. We'll save a ratio decimal value less than 1 into V. Okay. So this is the rectification. Okay, so is that all right? Okay, any questions? So this is how you should answer your question. As in the problem, you want to put the problem and suggested, let's say problem 1 and suggested solution for problem 1. So now you're more confident of getting your exam done. right? Suddenly all so quiet. Either too boring, feels that the exam is too easy, no problem at all, or simply dumbfounded. There's only two ways. Or still can absorb and digest. Very good. At least not like the Constantine devil. Say no. Okay, so shall we move on? Just a bit more, and then I will stop already. Okay, I didn't go through everything, so you have to probably still try to do it on your own, right? Even if you have done it, try to do it on your own. Try to type fast, see whether you can get the codes in. So shall we continue? Last part. Let's just, okay. So for the UML diagram, I would not run through this with you, okay? But it will definitely come out. Okay, definitely come out. So please study, okay? The UML diagram is the one with the flow, right? Still remember the flow chart with the terminal points? Yes or no? You know which is the UML diagram, right? Everyone knows, huh? Okay, so Nikki knows, but what about the rest? This is the UML diagram. Right? Okay, so this is the UML diagram. So remember to practice on that. Okay, this one is also important. Automatic garbage collection. Okay, illustrate your answer with examples. Okay, so yeah, so we prepare for that as well, huh? Okay. Okay, I lost my paper. Where's my paper? Okay, I can't find my paper anymore. But it should also be, it's also important. Okay, just note that this is also important. Go and find the slides on that and see whether you can come up with practical examples on that as well. I can't find my exam paper. Gosh. Yeah, I can't find the paper. Too bad. Otherwise, I can tell you a bit more. Okay. Yeah, I can't find the paper. Okay, never mind. No choice. But it'll be something along this line. Okay, definitely something along this line. Okay, so the last question is on the Python functions. Give me a moment, give me a moment to stop everything first. Okay, yeah. So this one is definitely important. Okay, please try to read up. Okay, I won't give you the examples, otherwise I'll be giving you the answers. Okay, so I won't give you anything here. So it will be something similar to this, but may not be exactly the same. So just go and read up what's automatic garbage collection. Come up with different examples, not exactly the same as each other, no? And see what the exam questions actually ask. Okay. Okay, now C will be on code complexity. Okay, so this will also come out. I think we have done this before, right? So I'll just quickly do part 2 and part 4. Okay, so let's take a look here. What is the ON of this? What is the complexity of this? What's the complexity of part 2? ON? Anybody has a different answer? No? You are passing in 2 lists. You are checking only the first item. Do you need to look through any of the items? The answer is no. You don't have to look through any of the items, right? So what is the complexity of this? If you have a loop, normally you have a ON. If it's a simple one, it's just O1. Yes. O1. Okay, that's correct. Okay, let's take a look at number 4. Okay, what's the complexity of number 4? What's the complexity of number 4? ON square. Thank you very much. Okay, there is a chance that you loop n times. Every one time you loop n times, and you still cannot find that any of the values are the same. Okay, so you may need to loop through everything, and that's ON square. Okay, a loop within a loop. All right, very good. Yeah, so I think that will be the end of the exam revision. So you have to try to do the rest on your own. Okay, the exam questions will be different from this in terms of the values, in terms of the scenarios, but the format will be the same. Okay, there's definitely one question on the UML, and there will definitely be questions on big O notation. Okay, and the first part will be, of course, asking you for the outputs, right? So the question 2 is usually the joker. Okay, question 2 is usually the joker. The UML diagram is usually a joker. Why I call it joker is because it's something that that is you can't predict. Okay, something that you can't predict. Something that's the one that will either make you a star or make you a non-star. Okay, basically that is. Okay, so any questions for the things that we've gone through so far? How many hours is the paper? I can't remember also. Is it 2 hours or 3 hours? I think 3 hours, right? Or 2.5 hours. I think it didn't put. Okay. Which chapters should are the important ones for you to focus? I can't tell you which one because everything is important. Everything you see here in questions 1 to 4 will be tested. So how do I tell you which ones to focus? The only thing, see, try except will come out as well. Functions will come out as well. You will ask you to rewrite functions as well. So virtually everything's tested. So I can't tell you which ones to focus. Yeah, but you follow the format. The format is close to the exam paper. Okay, close to the exam paper. So Chan Wei, okay, Chan Tian Wei, right? Yeah. Wei Tian. Chan Wei Tian. Yeah, so there's nothing I can really help. Paper is what, 3 hours? 3 hours paper, right? I'm not sure. Either 2.5 hours or 3 hours paper. So I can't set the length of the paper. The length of the paper is determined by the university. So in case of any technical difficulties, they will know. But the technical difficulties cannot be on your side. It has to be on their side, meaning that they cannot allow you to submit the paper on the server, and that's the problem. They will extend for you. If it's a technical difficulty on your side, because your internet connection is poor, then it's your own problem. I'll put it very crudely, right? So it has to be on that side. So that answers your question. Any questions from the rest of you? regarding, let's say, assignment, anything at all? Yes, no? No questions? If you run into any more difficulties, your difficulties is very vague. Your difficulties means what? Revision difficulties, assignment difficulties, or exam difficulties. If it's anything other than the exam, no problem. If it's during exam, I can't help. Okay, those you must email to the person in charge. Okay, I don't think I will be sitting in for the exam, so therefore I won't be there monitoring. Okay, so yes, if in general you have difficulties, you can email me. Yeah, no problem. Okay, anyone else? If not, that's all for today. If you have questions regarding, let's say, assignment, you can stay back and ask, but otherwise that's all. For the assignment, do we choose any real life business issues? The assignment is wait, I've been locked out. I thought the assignment is a stock thing. No, I thought the assignment is actually on stocks. It is, right? So what do you mean by any real life business issues? So it is to ask you to download a particular stock code and then do something to it, right? Okay, you got me there. I'm actually quite blurred. I was like shocked. I don't know what do you mean by business issue. Am I teaching a business module? Okay, anyone else has questions?
Sir, I have a
Oh,
question.
yeah.
Okay, so I went through the assignment criteria.
Mm.
Out of curiosity, right? Because perhaps maybe the way we do the program is a bit different. Is it possible to go beyond the knowledge that you've taught us, maybe like doing our research online?
Um, what do you mean by going beyond the knowledge
Uh,
given? It's
uh,
supposed to follow the specifications properly. Okay, let's say for example, this is the specification. So you're supposed to provide all this. Okay, all this needs to be fulfilled, right?
what
All this needs
what
to be fulfilled.
what I mean is that because I went to research on how to actually in terms of program to make sure that I'm doing on the right track, and I
Mm-hmm.
realized that there are certain a lot of when I was reading up a lot of things mentioned about pandas which is not taught by you, and I mean of course I'm not going to use it, but I just want to understand, is it wrong to actually try to learn from it and implicate on the program itself?
If you look at this, it says that use only the following packages. only if it's required. That means pandas, all these should not be inside.
Okay, I understand.
No extra libraries. There's I mean there's a few of these criteria are set there so that I mean, first of all, it's not to be dependent on the third party library. But of course, pandas is a developed library itself. But more of because it's a academic, form of evaluation. So we are trying to evaluate the students to see whether they can do, let's say, with the basic packages itself. Yeah, rather than to depend on third parties as well. And secondly, if you, let's say, we allow students to take, go beyond this. So these are the most important stuff. You want to go beyond, you have one or two more, let's say, extra features, we are okay. But if let's say you, a student suddenly submit a very fanciful application, okay, that yes, it plots, even plot the entire stock chart, right, and state the whichever stuff that on the graph itself, but doesn't fulfill this, then it's very suspicious. It could be rip off from some open source website or downloaded off from somebody's website. So we want the students to keep to this. Yeah.
Okay, understand. I just have one more question. So I understand that during the car rental, right, when we were importing from the text to the main program itself, we are able to link it. But because right now we're using CSV, which is a set of data, is there any possible way to take the header into a list from a file? Because when we learn matrix, right, we type the data itself out onto the program itself. But right now we are converting from, I'm thinking of converting from from the CSV file into a list into the main program.
Okay, that one is very, very simple. Okay, let me just do a very quick file read. Okay, so let me see. 1, 2, 3, new directory. A lecture, but this one is add-ons. Okay, assignment, add-on. So I just call this. Okay. Reading. Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll just briefly go through, let's say, for example, if I have a particular CSV file. So a CSV file is basically just a text file with commas.
Yeah.
You all know, right? So say, for example, in the text file, I have plenty of scores. And then I start off with the name. And then I have assessment 1, assessment 2, and then the exam. Okay, A1, A2, and then the exam. Okay, so normally they'll put the rating over there. Maybe this is 20%, this is 30% or 20% or so, and then the exam is 60%. Nowadays exam very hard to be 60%, so this one is 30%. Okay, and then we start to put in names like, for example, let me see whose name I remember. Enrique. Okay, then this guy has 67 marks, 76 marks, and then maybe exam didn't score very well, 53 marks. Okay, the second person here is Don. Okay, Donkey, and then maybe scores very well for 2 assignments, but then actually copy from friend 1, so exam very poor. Okay, and okay, another third one will be Linda. Okay, so Linda maybe didn't do very well for assignment 1, didn't do very well, did a bit better for assignment 2, but did, it's a paper student, so did very well for exam. Okay, And then we want to be able to calculate the total score. We want to read them. Okay, so what I'll do is we'll read the file. We'll have to throw away the header. Okay, and then we put them into a list, like a name followed by scores, followed by score, followed by score, right?
Yeah.
So typically, what we'll do is we'll definitely try to load the data. Okay, okay, so this is the thing I'll usually do. And I'll leave you to putting the loading the data into a file, okay, into a function itself. Okay, I don't want to do it here because I don't want everybody to copy the same thing. Okay, so I will have students data equals to a blank list. So at the end of the day, if I do a students data, I should be able to print it in the form of Enrique 67, 76, and 53. Okay, the first one is actually a string. So the second one and third and fourth are all integers or numbers. Okay, and then followed by the other list. So it's a list of these. So this one will become donkey, then whichever scores here, then followed by another score. So it becomes a list of these, right? So the students' data becomes a list of these. Okay, and of course, we have to open the file. Okay, so we will throw away the first line. Right, and then read all other lines. Okay, and then here, okay, we can see that we just print the line first. You can see my header is gone. And so this one you just need to convert it to the right right format. So basically it's just using raw data equals to line.split. Right, and then if you put in this as students data dot append raw data, you will find that it's already a list of these. But then it is wrong. So because we didn't split it by commas, so it's one whole string. So you split by commas. Okay, then we got it, right? But then again, this is not the correct format because this is a number, and these are all strings. So this one here, you have to convert the other columns to numbers. Okay, and then assign back to the list. Okay, after you work on the correct list, after you got the correct list, you can manipulate the list already, because once you get this list, you can do whatever you want, right? So okay, this part I don't want to give you the entire solution. This one you do yourself. Okay, so this one to do yourself. I'm sure the stock also something like this, right? So I don't want to go through too much of this. Okay, so let's say assume I got this. Okay, let's say now I have the students data equals to, I build the list. Okay, Aaron, okay, 55, 78, and 90. I just have 2 students. This one will be Vicky with 78, 90, and 67. Okay, so now we have the students' data. So what I can do is, what I can really do is actually for students in students' data, let's say, for example, I want to be able to get the total exam score. I will let total exam score equals to class equals to student column 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So after that, I can print the total exam score. I can print the total exam score divided by length of students' data, which is the average score. So I should see 90 divided by plus 67 divided by 2, which will give you 173.5. 878.5, so sorry, oops. Yeah, so basically, we can see that this conversion is not done. I purposely did not show you, but
Yeah.
okay, because I want you to do the conversion yourself. And after you get this type of format, your stocks need to be this type of format, then you will be able to do your stuff. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Ken? All right. Any other questions? So I think the assignment is very easy. The exam is even easier. I believe that all of you will get HDs. Okay, so can sleep well and tight tonight. Don't have to worry. Tomorrow you'll wake up feeling happy about it, only to know that it's a dream. Okay, just kidding. Okay, I hope all of you will pass with good results. Okay, try to do your work. I mean, Python is quite fun, right? Okay, so I hope you give me a good project that I can mark. And yeah, so and that's all. If I see you again, hopefully it will be other courses, but not this anymore. You are still short of 1 member for the group assignment. How many members do you have? 2 only. The rest, there are 28 people, right? There's only definitely two short. No choice. There definitely one group there will be one person less. Everybody has three members, right? Yes, yeah. So if you're the only group with 2 members, you just go with it. I will apportion the marks accordingly. I will take note that you are only a 2-person group. Okay. It should be 3, but then there's only 28 people. 28 divided by 3 gives you 7 groups. Plus, is it 7 groups? 8 groups. 9. Okay. Then there will be two groups with 2 lah. Anybody doesn't have 3 members besides Zhang Rui? Oh, okay, right? Oh, I have. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much. Good night.